Ever had one of those days where your creativity slips away, hiding in shadows you can't quite reach, leaving you searching yet finding nothing? There are times when the weight of daily tasks pulls me in different directions, distant from the flow of my own imagination, or perhaps it's fatigue, the quiet kind that settles deep, making everything feel just out of reach. As children, we were untouched by the notion of what was good enough. We simply played, we wandered without purpose, exploring every corner of the world with wide-eyed wonder. In our innocence, creation flowed naturally, driven only by the desire to see what would unfold. Each moment a promise that joy was in the journey itself. One of the places I went was this place called 𝓞𝓷𝓵𝓲𝓷𝓮, which is like a treasure shop in my mind, but it's like a vintage thrift shop. And I got all of these things, so I wanted to do a quick haul of what I'll be using in my first spread. We're probably going to go with a little bit of a Valentine's Day theme for the first spread. I got this card. It's so freaking cute, the art on this. And I got this card. And the last thing I got from that shop was this card right here, and it's a little party invite. I love how old-timey the text is. It says, "Dear, we are having some friends to a party, and shall be so glad if you can come." I also got a few other things from a different vintage shop that I probably won't be using, but one of them is this, which would definitely suit it. Valentine's cards are so endearing and cute, and I got these few little cards as well. This one has a really nice texture, like it's from a book or something. It's not like a handwritten letter, it's like a reprint of something. I hope the scrapbooking session gives you some inspiration, some ideas. I find going for a little jaunt, a wee explore, to be the perfect way to cultivate some creativity. Damn, that sentence. Even if I'm just walking down to the beach, looking out of the ocean, finding a shell or a little bit of stones on the ground, there's inspiration there. Specifically when I'm thinking about junk journaling, mixed media art journaling, scrapbooking, is that going for an explore is literally the perfect way to find inspiration, because you can get tangible items that you can then bring into your scrapbook practice. Excuse the sounds in the background, like I'm trying my best here, but my boyfriend's snoring and my housemates are upstairs like just kicking his stuff. Like, I'll introduce you to the snorer. His name is Ali. He's my boyfriend of 7 years at least, and he's gonna make a little appearance in this spread. I got this really cute picture of us at this local venue where we've taken the same exact photo like twice, like 5 years apart, and it's just really cute. Both of our hair grew out a lot. When you're collecting stuff for your journal, junk journal, you're like collecting stuff through life, right? And like you have a little pile of stuff that we all sort in different ways. Let me know how you sort your junk. I think it'd be really entertaining. I have like a few different boxes that you'll see in this video. The point I'm getting at is, yeah, we all collect stuff, but going out specifically with the intention of exploring and collecting something and then coming back and making something with it, I do feel like that's a little bit of a different process. And the little vintage Valentine's cards that I got are what inspired me to do this spread. I knew that in these spreads I wanted to do some fun stuff like flip-ups, flip-outs, folding things. And then of course I also wanted to have some themes of Valentine's Day cards and sending letters. So I decided to try something I haven't made before, which is tiny envelopes. It's 100% necessary to fill these tiny envelopes with a little tiny message. So I wanted to do something with a flip up with like the photograph, but I wasn't exactly sure. And then I was thinking about Valentine's Day and all the X's and the O's, and the photo of us kissing, and I came to the conclusion of making a kissing booth. Seriously the best idea ever, right? I know you're like nodding your head like. Once I got the whole kissing booth set up, I wanted to decorate the edges of the paper. I wasn't too sure what to use, but I used a kiss since I was wearing red lipstick, but it didn't really transfer, so I copied it over with some ink. And then I used these really cute Snoopy stickers that are themed for holidays, so every time another holiday comes around, I'm really hyped to be able to use these Snoopy stickers. I left a little message on the envelope saying lift me up so that you would know to flip it up and show the photo underneath, but I also thought the message was kind of cutesy and correlated with the whole Valentine's Day theme. Another cute little detail is once you lift it up, the card underneath opens up, and then it feels like this sweet secret message just between me and Ellie, because it says, "Just a little Valentine, intended just for you, but just a little means a lot, just between us two." And then the little heart stickers coming from our faces. I'm kind of dying. I'm gonna rate it a 10 out of 10. Exceeds expectations for my scrapbooking practice, and it's helping me find my style. Like, I love this page. 10 out of 10. Exploring for scrapbook ephemera. It's so amazing. It gets you into this fun spirit, and like, I just recommend going to like a cute vintage shop where you can find little bits and bobs for cheap that are like really inspiring. It's just so cute and perfect for Valentine's. The next one I'm going to be doing is based on a book that I used to read in my childhood. I should go get it. Let us return, if only for a moment, to the simple pleasure that once ignited the flames of joy within us as children. For me, it's the act of losing myself once more in the pages of a beloved book, one I've read countless times in my youth. In those familiar words, I rediscover the wonder and curiosity that roamed wild and untamed in my heart, reminding me of a time when every page and illustration was a doorway to another world. It's called Spiderweb, the Complete Fantastical. Here's a little map. Actually, this is a good idea to make kind of a map for the background maybe. This book was a huge favorite of mine as a kid. I read it multiple times. This one's like all the little small books into one big book. I just loved the illustrations in it, and I loved the fantastical world that they created. It definitely got me believing in fairies and little creatures. Let's look through some stuff I have to see what I might want to use for a spiderwick spread. I do really enjoy making spreads based on books that I've read, which is something that I've done before in my sketchbook, but not so much in a scrapbook. A little while ago I drew these for the spread. It's like the main characters here, the title, and a couple little creatures. I might draw more creatures and we can do it together. I got these two background things. I thought the gold might match. These are my little boxes that I store scrapbook ephemera in. And isn't this cake? This was from a cake tin, and I just stuck it on here because it's like the elite ephemera. I usually go through stickers last because it's like small little bits and bobs, but I might use some mushrooms. This one's like little small paper bits. That's cute. This is like bigger papers that don't fit in a little tin. Check this out. I got it from Value Village and I saw it and I was like obsessed with it immediately. The colors, it just matches this whole area so nicely. Ooh. This is the vibes. I might cut out some text from this one. I might cut out some flowers from this one. Hello, welcome to the intermission. I hope you're enjoying the video. I wanted to show you guys a product I've been making. I've been selling them in person and at vendor shops, at markets, and it's been one of my most popular products. I really like it because it's like a usable product that gets people more creative and doing things. I made 3 different renditions basically. So this one is the scrapbook souvenirs on the go scrapbooking kit that you could easily take with you. This is like the essentials kit with all of the collage kit stuff, and I basically find this stuff by scanning items like this journal, for example. It's right here as well. And this little spread here, as well as some of these like of my paintings that I put in there. And I'll go thrifting for items, and I'll scout and buy certain items, and then I'll put it all together. And I just feel like it has such an artist touch. This is the fancy version where I put some 3D embellishments and more like fancier items inside. These little buttons, you can find them in some of the kits. Going back to a physical object like this, like a book that meant so much to me as a kid and really shaped things that I believe in and like the way that I see the world, is a change maker for the creative process. And I highly recommend this because this spread I think is one of the best spreads that I've made. There's something very potent and special about that childhood wonder and curiosity, and by going back to this physical object, it reignites that within you. I knew that I wanted a page to have like a really like novel, messy desk, paper vibe. Like I wanted there to be layers and rips and visible tape and like looking like it's all just scrapped together. I originally drew these little drawings because I was doing kind of like master studies based on the illustrator of Spiderwick's work, because I always really love it, and one of my goals is to work on people doing things in action. So I drew out these little characters and some of the creatures in the title page. There's this one scene in the beginning of the book where they just move into the Spiderwick estate. They are exploring the house and they go into this dumbwaiter that leads them to a room where they can't find any entrance to it. So they take the dumbwaiter into this mystery room, and it's like someone's study. It's very academia, but more like botanical academia vibes. And it's all of these studies from this man, I think it was like someone in their family, who was studying the Fae realm. They just had all of their notes and papers and like things up on the wall and the wallpaper, and it had like this messy, eclectic vibe. So I wanted this whole spread to feel like that, but especially the right page for it to look like you were literally looking at the desk and it just had like all these notes and papers that were falling down onto the desk. I super love maps and like inventories and stuff like that in books, so I definitely want to incorporate a little bit of the map into this spread. I often do spreads based on books I've read in my sketchbook, like I'll just sketch out a character or a little map or something. But this here, what we're doing here, this is more in depth. I feel like I'm like connecting with the spirit of the book and not just like recapping what I read. Like when I look at the spread, I feel the same like whimsy and joy as when I looked into Spiderwick books when I was a kid. Like it really feels like it brings the world of Spiderwick into my scrapbook. I was trying to figure out what else to fill the space with on the right side because the 2 little creatures didn't seem like quite enough. And randomly, I was scrolling through Instagram in the morning and I saw this creator doing a video about the seeing stone, which I'm not sure that's what they call it in real life, but that's what they call it in the Spiderwick book. And it's like any stone that has like a natural hole in it, and the thought is that you can see into the Fae world. Yeah, that's gonna be my inspiration for kind of like the meaning in this spread. So I noticed that the picture that I drew earlier had them looking into the seeing stone. So I decided to do another sketch of it in more detail. I really love mixing my art with the scrapbooking practice. I just think it adds like a unique touch. And I wrote down some notes about it, like able to see into the magical realm and such. And then I ripped it a bit so that it looked like you couldn't really read all the information, which is exactly what the Spiderwick book is like. They're always finding like little chunks of information, but not everything that they need. I was gluing down this little piece of paper flat on the desk. I was like, la-di-da-di-da, perfect little piece of paper on this desk. And then when I was flipping it down, I realized that it was the perfect secret pop-up. So I added some more paper to the back side. This pop-up is what I was the most excited for you guys to see. Like the way that it just happened without me doing it intentionally. Okay, it's straight up magic, and even more magic is that it says hints on the top of the newspaper note, and it's like so discreet, right? So like if I put this down and I paper clip it closed, the only way you'd know to open it is by like the hints. And it's not even like a different text or anything. It's like mind-blowingly perfect to me. There's a common expression in the book, which is click clack, watch your back. So I wrote that onto the little flippy page. But the front says click clack and then the back says watch your back is like also very magical. It's all in the details, and sometimes my favorite part of scrapbooking is coming to the end and adding in the like finishing touches. So I wanted to add a little bit of doodles because this page here with the eyepiece is supposed to look like someone's notebook that's been put down or torn, and personally every notebook I've ever had has been filled with doodles. It's like a couple reoccurring doodles from the book, like this weird little fairy creature, and I also doodled the little rat border. And the little flower, black flower in the top left corner is from a time when I was practicing making inks, and I believe that was actually made with the coals from a fireplace mixed with some kind of mixing ingredient, and then it turned into this paint or ink, and it was very thick and filled with like texture.